What do you think an essential worker is?
Someone who probably needs to get paid more.
Being a part of or assisting in making sure that the general population is staying safe.
People who put their lives on the line so we could have a better future.
People who are on the frontliners.
They technically help with every human need.
People we depend on the most in society.
An important worker, for example, a doctor.
Someone who risked their life during this pandemic doing a job in society that is required for people to live.
Someone that society depends on who is willing to take risks to help others that are in need.
Is someone who risks their life by working in a job during times of a pandemic.
Right now, I work at Wendy's as like pretty much doing everything.
How difficult is it to be an essential worker?
There's many essential worker jobs now. I mean, I think for my particular field, I would say, it's not that hard. Once you get used to it, it's not that hard. I mean,
What do you have to adjust to?
we've always been like cleaning the store, making sure everything's clean in the store, even before the pandemic. During the pandemic, it's just that much more important. You know, you want to make sure everything, all the food and stuff is clean. You're not getting anything contaminated. It's just that much more important, as it should be. I mean, the other thing we've had to adjust to is, we all have to wear a mask now, which before we didn't have to. Before the pandemic, we didn't have to. So it's kind of a new thing for us and stuff. But, a lot of people have had to get, used to that fact, and even wearing gloves and stuff. And, before that, of course, if you're making the sandwiches and stuff like that, you got to wear gloves. But before the pandemic, many of us didn't have to wear gloves. So, even that, like, it's just something that we have to learn to adjust to and stuff like that. Because when you don't wear the masks and gloves, customers, like, they'll see that. And some of them will even get, a little, like, mad, like, a little ticked off and stuff like that. Like, oh, why is he or she not wearing masks and gloves and stuff? So it's just, like, that much more important. And stuff we had to get used to. The other thing that we've had to get used to is the fact that even, like, before, like, early on during the pandemic, we had to shut down the dining room, where people can come in and stuff. So now it's only the drive-thru open and stuff. So people's hours got cut, and it affected a lot of people's jobs. So there was a lot of people who had to quit and find another job, or just quit that job entirely because their hours got cut, including mine and stuff. But yeah, those are just some of the things that we've had to adjust to.
How do you feel like working in such an environment?
I mean, we're in a relatively small store, so sometimes it's kind of hard for all of the employees to stay 6 feet apart. So there's that aspect. There's also an aspect that, like I said before, kind of earlier when I mentioned where wearing the mask and gloves is new and stuff. We've never really had to do that before. There's never been a time anywhere or any time where we've had to do that. So now that we've had to do it, it's an adjustment. It definitely is. It takes some getting used to, working an 8, 10 hours, even 12-hour shift with the mask on and gloves on the whole time. It's hard. It is hard and stuff. And then when you look at like people like nurses and doctors where they work 16, 20-hour shifts with the mask on, it can be annoying sometimes. And so when you're just going out your car to go to the store to pick something up, that probably takes like 5 minutes. So 5 minutes with your mask on, it's not that bad, but like working those long shifts, it can be hard and stressful. It's just the thing on your face, and it just, it's hard. Like I said before, we've all had to make adjustments, and it's just kind of what it is for now.
Do you ever feel unsafe working?
Sometimes when I deal with the customers, taking their money and kind of cashing them out and giving them their food, it definitely is a risk and stuff. There's no doubt about it. I try to stay as safe as I can. I always wash my hands, a lot of times throughout the day, and changing gloves and even changing my mask if I have to. But there definitely is still a risk in doing that. If I could, I would just stay home and stuff. You just kind of have to do what you got to do to, help the store and whatever, and, help other people.
What precautions does the company take to make you feel safer?
So the company, I know because when you first apply, you got like this whole online thing you have to do. So like you got to answer all these questions online. It's a whole process and stuff. I saw that the company, they sent out another link to like all of the employees, all the Wendy's employees, and like it's like a training basically, like an online training. And I saw it's like a coronavirus kind of thing where they're trying to it's a video about, make sure you guys are wearing your masks, make sure you guys are wearing your gloves, not contaminating the food, So so as a company, like I saw that they're doing that. And like they're posting like flyers around the store, just telling people to keep their masks and gloves on at all times.
How has COVID affected you personally?
I mean, it started while we were in school and stuff, and so just the fact that I'm a senior, and so we don't really have our typical graduation. I mean, I know the school is planning something, but just the fact that we don't have the typical annual graduation that every graduating class has. I mean, I'd say that's affected me, and the fact that like we don't really get to say goodbye to like all the rest of our friends in high school. There's that, and just not like all the teachers and thing. I would say like that's probably the biggest thing, how it's affected me personally, me and like many other students. It's like pretty much the whole high school, but especially the graduating class of 2020. It's all across the country. I'd say that's probably the biggest thing. Just kind of like missing out on our typical graduation, senior cookouts, prom, just like things among that. It's really taken a toll on some people. So a lot of people really look forward to those things, including myself. And it's just, hard to miss out on some of those things.
What college are you going to attend?
I'm going to go to University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, and I'm pursuing a nursing degree there.
What are your plans after college?
Well, after college, so I'm going to I'm majoring in nursing. I got a full ride for that. And so after I graduate, I'm going to be a nurse at the hospital over at Pittsburgh for a few years, and then after that, I plan to eventually be a nurse practitioner, and then eventually a physician's assistant.
What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about a lot of things. I'm passionate about like social justice issues, especially within like the Black community and stuff like that. I'm passionate about reading. I'm passionate about education, schooling. Working out, wrestling, and cross country.
How did you develop an interest in social justice?
Well, I mean, my dad especially has always been on me and my siblings about educating ourselves and about our history and stuff like that. And once I was exposed to that and experienced to that, it just got me interested in the social justice issue.
Do you think things are ever gonna go back to normal?
Yes, I do. I think it will take some time, as do all things, but I do think eventually things will get back to normal. If you look through our history and stuff, there have been pandemics, and sometimes it takes a while to get used to, but we always get through it. I feel like people think, people look at it now. The last pandemic we had was so long ago, where it's like no one was alive back then, and so it's just kind of a new thing for us, and it's something that we've had to adjust to and get used to. So I think it will eventually go away, but it will take time. It'll take cooperation. It'll take all of us to kind of like power through this thing.